Have I always been an actor, a preacher, or a teacher? Well, if you ask my mom, she'd probably say I've been an actor since I was a little kid, and that's true. And then in high school, I got into organized acting and was best thespian of Manasquan High School way back. Preaching and teaching. I have been a teacher and didn't realize it for a long time. Even when I worked in a previous secular job, I ended up coming up with ways to teach other employees different things, and I've been gifted to be able to teach and put things in a way that the person that I'm talking to or teaching can understand it. So that's been a blessing. So, and the preaching aspect, the Word of God burns in me like a fire. Woe to me if I don't preach the Word of God. I can't hold it in any more than I could hold in my breath for a certain amount of time. I got to exhale and then inhale. It's part of me. So the preaching aspect, and again, it goes back to the Word of God and the life that's in the Word of God, the power that's in the Word of God. It's really not anything spectacular about me. It's really the life that's in the Word of God, and the Word of God is powerful enough on its own. So as far as the preaching, I'm presenting the Word of God in a way, and I do editorialize a little bit, and I, as a pastor, bringing a sermon, I bring and teaching aspects, certain things that you might not get from the Word of God. Many people have walked away. I had one pastor friend of mine that came out to one of the early performances, and he said, that was an incredible teaching. That was a great teaching. He understood what was going on. There's a lot going on. There's teaching, there's preaching there. It's the Word of God. I mean, it is overwhelmingly, these plays are overwhelmingly just straight Word of God. The Joe play we do, Genesis Joe, it's a narrative, but it's the Word of God. And with our Pete play, we take from the Gospels, the 4 Gospels, and sew a narrative together. It's primarily all sewn together anyway, but there's certain aspects it was a little tricky to put together. But to answer your question, the preaching, the acting, all of it comes together and works together in the delivery of the Word of God through plays on word. I've been before plays on word. I was teaching. I was a preacher of the Word of God, teaching the Word of God, teaching secular things and worship leader, musician, songwriter. All aspects of the gifts that God has given me are all tied up in plays on word. I'm able to exercise the gifts God has given me for teaching, preaching, for leading worship, for writing songs. So it's all tied up in plays on word, and I'm like a hammer hitting a nail. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.